While Iran's GDP is flirting with the top 25 according to IMF as well as UN data and not far away according to the World Bank, we need to understand that we are dealing with an economy smaller than that of Belgium. As such, any direct comparison to the world's number one economy, which is that of the United States, seems, well, a bit of a stretch. The same principle is valid when it comes to the military dimension, with the US spending over $700 billion per year on defense, and Iran most likely being in the 15 to 20 billion zone, depending on the source. However, the indirect dimension can be problematic, with Iran having options such as 1. Generating oil supply shocks, with some analysts being afraid of oil price spike-induced stagflation scenarios such as those that occurred in the 70s. 2. Limiting or blocking trade in the Strait of Hormuz, roughly 25% of the world's oil and a third of its natural gas. 3. Leveraging its networks in countries such as Iraq or Lebanon so as to take action against local US interests. 4. Adding Russia and perhaps even China to the equation, with the implications this would bring about, and so on. However, due to the deeply interconnected nature of today's economy, it would be difficult for Iran's action to only affect the United States. For example, while the US is the world's number one oil consumer, China is the number one oil importer, so it doesn't exactly want to deal with oil supply shocks, and the conclusion tends to revolve around precisely the interconnectedness dimension. While Iran could theoretically cause a lot of damage despite its much smaller GDP, there are multiple forces at play which act as deterrents, including the fact that some of Iran's relatively few allies would stand to lose economically.